It was a calm Sunday evening when Anya, my wife, walked into the room wearing a simple cotton dress, her hair loosely tied, her eyes tired but gleaming with something unspoken. She had just completed 10 straight days at work without a break. Her voice was soft, almost childlike, when she said, "Today's my only holiday. I want to spend the night with you. Just the two of us." I looked at her for a moment, overwhelmed by the warmth in her tone. I stood, walked toward her, and gently wrapped my arms around her. "Then tonight," I whispered near her ear, "we'll talk all night, love each other like never before, and make memories we'll never forget." We turned off the lights, leaving only a soft lamp on in the corner. The room glowed gently, casting golden hues across the walls. We lay together on the bed, not in haste or desire, but in comfort, like two souls who had found each other after a long journey. I lay beside her, facing her, watching how the light danced on her skin. Our fingers intertwined, our breaths in rhythm. She looked up and said, "Do you remember our first kiss?" I smiled, leaned closer, and kissed her forehead gently. "I remember every second of it," I replied. And then, slowly, I leaned forward again and kissed her lips, softly, tenderly, like our first time. Her lips responded with warmth. The kiss deepened, and so did our connection. It wasn't rushed or wild. It was like a story being written with every touch, every sigh, every heartbeat. My hand slid across her waist, pulling her closer. She whispered my name between kisses, her breath quickening, her hands resting gently on my chest. "I feel so loved tonight," she said, her eyes glistening. Hours passed as we explored each other again, like we were rediscovering every curve, every feeling, every memory. She laughed softly, sometimes gasping when I kissed her neck, other times moaning softly when my lips traced the edges of her collarbone. We didn't just share physical space, we shared emotions, tears, joy, and silence that said more than words ever could. Around 1:50 a.m., she turned over, curling up as she suddenly groaned. "My back hurts a little," she said with a slight laugh. "Can you wrap your arm around me from behind? It always makes me feel better." I didn't hesitate. I moved closer, slipped my hand under her shirt, gently touching her bare back. My arm rested around her waist, my chest pressed against hers from behind. She sighed deeply and said, This is what love feels like. You holding me like this in the middle of the night." We stayed like that, whispering sweet nothings, kissing each other's hands, shoulders, lips. She turned to face me again, her eyes glowing with love and desire. "Kiss me again," she said. I kissed her lips with passion, our bodies fully tangled now, the room filled with our warmth. The night felt endless, our love blooming like it hadn't in years. And she said something I'll never forget. "Tonight, I don't want to sleep. I want to feel every moment of this with you." We made love slowly, fully, without words. Every kiss was a promise, every caress a vow. And when it was all done, we lay breathless, in each other's arms. She rested her head on my chest and whispered, "This was the best night of my life." The morning sun began to peek through the curtains, and Anya still hadn't moved. I kissed her forehead and said, "Rise and shine, love. We'll make breakfast together." But she didn't respond. I shook her gently. "Anya?" Still no reply. I sat up, panic creeping into my chest. Her skin was cold. I called her name again. "Anya?" My voice broke. I shook her harder. Her lips were slightly parted, her eyes closed peacefully. I called the ambulance, heart pounding, tears filling my eyes. When they arrived, the doctor checked her pulse. "She's gone," he said. No, she was fine. We were just talking. Just loving each other." I cried. The doctor looked at me with sorrow. "It was a silent cardiac arrest. Likely around 3 or 4 a.m. She felt no pain. It was peaceful." My world shattered. The night I thought would be our new beginning had been her farewell. She gave me her last night, her last kiss, her last breath. And I never even knew I was saying goodbye. It had been 3 weeks since Anya passed away. The nights were the hardest. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her, smiling, whispering, laughing, and resting against me like she did that last night. Sometimes I thought I could still feel the warmth of her hand brushing my chest, or her breath near my neck. Everyone told me it would get easier. But how do you move on when the last memory is also the most beautiful and the most heartbreaking? I had kept our room untouched. Her side of the bed, her perfume bottle, her comb on the dresser, everything remained as she left it. I couldn't bring myself to change anything. One night, around the same time she had said her back was hurting, 1:50 a.m., I heard a sound. A soft whisper. It wasn't from outside. It came from the bed. My heart froze. Ariv, the voice whispered. My name. I sat up, eyes wide, breath caught in my throat. I looked around, but there was no one. Maybe it was just a dream. The next night it happened again. This time, I felt the bed sink slightly behind me, as if someone had laid down. I turned quickly. No one was there, but the scent of her perfume suddenly filled the room. I wanted to believe I was imagining it. Grief does strange things. But the feeling kept getting stronger. One night, I fell asleep crying, holding her pillow close to my chest. I felt a warm touch brush my hair. I looked up in the darkness and heard it again, closer this time. I never left, Ariv. I'm here. I always promised we'd stay together. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Anya, is it really you? No answer. Just silence. But the scent, the warmth, it stayed. Then something strange happened. Every night, exactly at 1:50 a.m., the same sequence repeated. A whisper, a soft presence beside me, the bed sinking slightly, and a strange comfort that wrapped around me like a blanket. One night, desperate for clarity, I set up my phone to record the room while I slept. In the morning, I watched the footage. At exactly 1:50 a.m., the screen flickered. Then, for a brief moment, the edge of the blanket moved on its own. A faint figure appeared, like a silhouette of Anya, barely visible, sitting beside me, brushing my hair, before vanishing into the shadows. My breath caught. I played it again. It was her. I didn't know whether to be terrified or grateful. All I knew was Anya had returned. But why? Why every night at that time? I began researching dreams, spirits, and afterlife connections. One elderly spiritualist told me, if she appears again, ask her what she wants. Spirits linger for a reason. Some love, others, unfinished truths. That night, I waited. When she came, I whispered, Anya, why are you still here? A pause. Then the softest voice replied in my ear, because I never told you the truth. I sat up. What truth? She whispered, that night it wasn't an accident. A chill ran down my spine. What do you mean? I asked, heart racing. Silence. Then, someone knew I was with you. Someone poisoned me. My world tilted. Who? I demanded. Who did this? But she was gone. The room fell quiet again. The scent faded. And I was left staring into the dark, holding onto a new truth. Anya didn't just die in her sleep. Someone made sure she never woke up. And now, I had to find out who.